Today on Good Morning Maine, jury selection starts today in the trial of a Lincolnville man who has been accused of murder. Plus, the town of Orono has apologized to the Penobscot Nation over backlash from their new sign. We'll hear why. And the Lincoln Fire Department has been dangerously understaffed. We'll hear from them. Good morning and welcome to Good Morning Maine. I'm Emma Smith and thank you for tuning in this morning. Another cloudy day on the way. Let's get a check of that forecast with Devin Biggs.
Alrighty, Emma, thank you very much. Happy Tuesday. Your first weather forecast brought to you by Washington County Community College. Discover choices, create success. Don't miss out on free college. Alrighty, let's get into things this morning. A small craft advisory has been extended until Wednesday morning at around 1 a.m. because of active surf along the coast that will continue to remain possible with an area low pressure that continues to move away. But meanwhile, on land, we're looking pretty good out there. Just some clouds that are currently moving through. We'll be under a mostly cloudy sky today, but some peaks of sunshine will be possible from time to time. Let's zoom things out and give you the bigger picture. There's a system right about in there that continues to move away from us, still continuing to make the ocean a little bit active though, but on land, we're looking pretty good. Just some clouds that are developing there. Futurecast moving forward, a mostly cloudy sky common today. We'll have some clouds again later on tonight. This might be overdoing it just a bit, but we'll still have some clouds on the way coming up later on tonight. As for the winds, though, still a little gusty today at around 10 to 20 miles per hour, but the winds will slowly start to back off later on tonight and even calm down a little bit as we head towards your Wednesday as well. So for today, middle 30s, mostly cloudy and breezy with that north wind getting up to about 20 miles per hour. Later on tonight, here we go, 15 degrees with a partly cloudy sky and that north wind getting up to about 5 to 10 miles per hour. For tomorrow, middle 30s, mostly sunny and that north wind getting up to about 5 miles per hour. All right, that hourly forecast for the rest of the morning and afternoon period showing a mixture of clouds and sunshine with temperatures in the 30s. Your full 5-day forecast is coming up. Emma?
Thank you, Devin. Jury selection begins today in the trial of a Lincolnville man charged with murder. 47-year-old Matthew Pendleton is accused of killing his friend and roommate, Kevin Currett, in January of last year. Waldo County deputies found Currett's body on the Thorndike Road in Lincolnville after Pendleton allegedly reported it himself. At a previous court date, deputies said when they responded, they found blood on a camper and on the floor. Pendleton's trial is scheduled to begin following the jury selection. The Penobscot County Sheriff's Office is investigating an incident in Carmel. It happened at about 4 yesterday afternoon on the main road. Route 2 by the Dyer Road was shut down for some time. There are reports one person was taken to the hospital. We'll have more information as it becomes available. Members of area fire departments say they are struggling to find qualified applicants to fill full-time openings. Our Grace Blanchard spoke with members of the Lincoln Fire Department about the hiring challenges they face.
And every day when we climb on that truck, we're prepared for the worst.
Over the weekend, firefighters from the Lincoln Fire Department rescued 2 people from a burning home in Chester. Members of the department say these heroic efforts happened despite it being a time of day where they have few people on staff.
Time of the call, we were fully staffed with the numbers that we normally have. There was a paramedic and 3 firefighters.
Firefighters say there's been a declining interest in the field over the last few decades.
There's other parts of the country it's not quite as bad, but here for some reason it's become very hard to find people that are interested in doing it.
Some firefighters attribute the lack of interest to the grueling training and long hours at the station.
I myself retired a few years ago and decided to get back into it. I saw a need up here.
Members of the department say they have learned to adapt by relying heavily on mutual aid from area towns and on-call staff.
The town has really supported our mission. They've expanded our staffing. They've purchased some new ambulances and lots of EMS supplies.
With around 20 full-time staff members and roughly 2,000 calls a year, they hope to encourage more people to join their team and the industry.
And we'll train you. The department will train you. It's a job full of pride and history, and it's incredibly fulfilling.
More information on how to apply can be found on foxbangor.com. In Lincoln, Grace Blanchard for ABC 7 and Fox 22 News.
Maine's business leaders got an update on a plan for Maine to become 100% reliant on clean electricity by 2040. Our Augusta reporter Corey Bouchard has the story.
What is unique about Maine is really our energy challenges are very specific to Maine with our high consumption of heating oil, significant existing clean energy resources, and this modeling is specific to the state of Maine.
In 2019, Governor Mills signed bipartisan legislation that set a requirement for Maine to use 80% renewable energy by 2030 and a target of 100% by 2050. Last year, that plan was expedited to include a target of 100% by 2040, 10 years earlier.
We are in the latter part of this work. We've been doing it since the fall of last year, and excited to present to you all some of the findings and results and opportunities for input.
According to the Governor's Energy Office, renewable energy technology has advanced in recent years, that we would be able to supply a majority of our current energy usage with renewable energy. In 2024, Maine will cross the threshold of using more than 50% of its electricity from renewable sources. Patrick Woodcock from the Maine State Chamber of Commerce says it's important for business leaders to be aware and engaged in the energy plan.
Although all modeling is only as good as the assumptions, it really is extremely valuable as we start thinking about our priorities. This really is directionally important. Technology continues to be disruptive to our assumptions, but it really does create an important baseline of where are the priorities going to be over the next 15 to 20 years.
The Governor's Energy Office hopes to finalize the recommendations and present it to the Governor sometime this year. In Augusta, I'm Corey Bouchard for ABC 7 and Fox 22 News.
The window has now closed for Mainers to weigh in on a proposal that seeks to limit sales of gas-powered vehicles in the state. The Maine Board of Environmental Protection is seeking to adopt rules requiring 43% of new vehicles sold in Maine to be zero emission by the 2027 model year. The rule would also increase the requirements to 82% by model year 2032. Mainers had until 5 p.m. yesterday to weigh in. The proposal is facing pushback from Maine Republican lawmakers who say consumers should be able to choose whatever vehicles they want to purchase. House Republican leader Billy Bob Falkingham said in a statement, quote, "Despite claims by environmental extremists, this rule destroys consumer choice and will increase prices for the new and used vehicles people actually want to drive." Currently, there are 13 other states that have adopted similar regulations for phasing out gas-powered vehicles. The Orono Town Council is apologizing to the Penobscot Nation following recent backlash over a change of the town's gateway signage. The old sign prominently features the town's seal, a side profile of Penobscot Chief Joseph Orono with a headdress. The new sign incorporates an outline of the same seal behind the Welcome to Orono text. This change came last year, with conversations about updating the sign starting back in 2019. The town's Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion Committee was involved in the process. It recommended making signs with Penobscot language or redesigning the seal. Despite recommendations, Orono officials decided to move forward with the new design. The council also failed to consult with the Penobscot Nation Council, a decision which violated the town's 2021 resolution to honor and acknowledge the Wabanaki tribes.
We felt really ignored, that we felt devalued, and that our history, even in this area, was slated to be terminated.
The council has since sent a letter to the Penobscot Nation apologizing for its mistakes. The letter mentions the town is willing to return to its original signage or work with the Penobscot Nation to design a new one. The council also set aside $50,000 dedicated to signage design, cultural consultation, and future projects celebrating Penobscot presence in Orono. Mainers impacted by the December 17th storm now have longer to deal with taxes. Following the disaster declaration issued by FEMA, people that live in or have businesses in affected areas now have until June 17th to file returns and pay any taxes that were originally due. People in Androscoggin, Franklin, Hancock, Kennebec, Oxford, Penobscot, Piscataquis, Somerset, Waldo, and Oxford counties qualify for that tax relief. All right, the time now is 6:10. Coming up next on Good Morning Maine, absentee voting is now underway and Republican candidate Donald Trump is on the ballot. We'll have the details right after the break. But before we go, let's take another quick look at that forecast. Kind of a cloudy one today, again, mostly cloudy, a bit of a breeze, high of 35 degrees, so a little bit warmer than yesterday at least, but tonight is colder than last night, partly cloudy, high of 15. Tomorrow, there's some sun, which is good, high of 36 degrees. We'll be right back.
My uncle was a commercial fisherman, so grew up going fishing with him. And I found this apprenticeship program that seemed to have a lot of room for growth. You get to learn more. I applied for that, landed at Ferta Farms. The owners are great, laid back, but we get our work done.
You'd have someone make a 2,000-hour commitment to you, and you, in turn, make that commitment to train them. With Matt's help, I think we could double the size of the farm. I don't know of any other way that we could provide it without the apprentice program, you know.
The clock is ticking. Urgent search
for those 5 people on board the missing submersible.
Carrying tourists to the wreckage of the Titanic.
Was there any warning before the submersible imploded?
Fatal dive to the Titanic, Thursday night on ABC.
It takes all types to play Family Feud, the family blabbermouth.
Grandma's sick of Grandpa falling asleep in the middle of what?
Going to the bathroom.
See all the types on Family Feud.
Weekdays at 9 on ABC 7. Put a little more cash in your bank. Save money with half-off deals at foxbangor.com.
What happened that led to the deterioration of the relationship?
I got in my car, drove to her house.
Tensions were very thick.
Her husband was sitting in the living room. I asked him, "Where's your wife?"
Both of you are hurting from the loss of this friendship.
Hot Bench. Tuesday at 3 on ABC 7.
Welcome back to Good Morning Maine. I forgot to bring this up in the last segment, but breaking news, Toby Keith passed away this morning. It seems it's after a long battle with stomach cancer, so we'll have a memorial up for him at the end of the show. But okay, now for some other news rather. Some tenants in Portland are forced to move after discovering their apartments have a serious mold problem. Asia Reed was in Portland to speak with residents and is in with more.
I noticed that a few weeks ago, and I did report it, and they were going to do something about it.
There's mold covering parts of Florence Pooler's bathroom.
Mold is very dangerous for anybody. Well, I have emphysema.
These are low-income housing units owned by Portland Housing Authority. Executive Director Brian Frost says half of them are infested with mold. Though all tenants will be relocated just to be on the safe side. He says poor building design makes it prone to leaking and mold, which has been there for a few months now.
Due to the really unprecedented rainfall that we've received in the last 3, 4, 5 months, particularly the last 3 months, I think the water is able to travel into that area and create the conditions for this.
Frost says most residents have already been moved into different Portland Housing Authority units in the area. The work they have to do is extensive, and they're trying to figure out how to best tackle the issue. Frost says they're unsure yet if they'll take down the whole building or not.
Certainly if we reoccupy the units, we've got to abate whatever growth is there. We've got to identify the water leaks.
The building's property manager, Baba Lai, says in a statement, quote, "When I reported to my supervisor, they asked me to have maintenance staff wipe it down and paint over it. I asked for support to find durable solution instead of just wiping it off and painting, but I was not given that option." Frost says there was one tenant that they failed to move out in a timely manner.
We take full responsibility for not acting on that timely, and it's not a condition that we would want anyone to be, living in.
Right now, in-person absentee voting is underway for Maine's presidential primary coming up on March 5th, and former President Donald Trump is still on the ballot. Johnny Maffey joins us with a breakdown of the Republican primary ballot.
Well, in-person absentee voting began at 8:30 this morning here at Portland City Hall for Maine's presidential primary coming up a month from today. And what Secretary of State Shanna Bell's Director of Communications told me is she made it clear that if you cast your vote and then Trump is disqualified, that's your vote. You do not get another ballot. Let's pull up a sample ballot from the Secretary of State's website. You can see here we have the two candidates still in the race, Donald Trump and Nikki Haley. Also seen here are former candidates, Ron DeSantis, Vivek Ramaswamy, and Ryan Binkley. They've all dropped out, but it was after primary ballots were printed in Maine, which was 70 days before March 5th. If Trump is disqualified from the ballot, the primary is ranked choice, so if Trump is in first, the candidate in second place would then move up to first, and if no candidate is at 50%, Trump voters' second choice votes will then be counted, which could get interesting. Now, looking ahead to Thursday, the U.S. Supreme Court has a hearing for the Trump ballot situation in Colorado. Once there is a decision in that case, Secretary Bellows will then reissue a ruling. So if you want to wait for the Trump decision to come down before you cast your vote, well, you can hold on to your ballot, but Secretary Bellows' office wants you to make sure that you get that ballot in by March 5th at 8 p.m.
As the end of the academic calendar draws nearer, seniors are preparing for the next chapter in their lives. One program at Winslow High School is helping students take a different approach to that process. Our Doug Banks takes us there.
I feel like the thing I struggled the most with senior year is learning how to do things the disciplined way and just making yourself more disciplined for the future.
As graduation approaches for Winslow High School seniors, they also look towards what follows after.
Right now, we're hitting the point where most students are finding out if they got into a school. Some are starting to see the payment that's going to be required. It's a little scary.
Although it looks like another corkboard glued to the wall of another hallway, instead, it's filled with opportunities.
Most of my schools are pretty expensive, so just like being guided on what would be the best choice.
Just across the hall, they type away at applications and grants, but just as the name College and Career Cafe suggests, the process is done a little differently.
She gives you information with like different colleges that have different programs, and it's also in a really comfortable environment.
With beanbags instead of chairs, a dartboard on the wall, and an espresso machine on the counter, Morin says it's important to cultivate a welcoming environment while also making stressful work engaging.
I challenge them to a race whether the cookies will be done quicker than their application. A stress reduction from the big bad world, and it's okay to come in here and say, this is scary stuff.
And students are thankful they have a place to work together.
It definitely helps just having like your source and like obviously like supportive friends too, but it definitely helps to have someone by your side.
In Winslow, Doug Banks, ABC 7 and Fox 22 News.
Best of luck to them. It's definitely a long process. I remember when I did it, it would be like, $250 here, $50 or $500 for that one, and school is tens of thousands of dollars, so it's tough. All right, the time now is 6:17. After the break, Southern California has been hit for the second time in the past few days with an intense rainstorm that has left thousands without power. We'll have our local forecast right after the break.
Quitting smoking, vaping, and other tobacco may be tough, but you can do it. Even if you don't get it right the first time, don't give up. Working with a quit coach increases your chances of successfully quitting, especially combined with quit medications. That's why each quit program through the Maine Quit Link offers free patches, gum, and/or lozenges and helps you build a customized quit plan. Call 1-800-QUIT now or enroll online at mainequitlink.com. It's free and it works.
I got hurt in a car accident. Give me one good reason why I should call the twos.
How about 3 great reasons you should call us? 1, we make it easy. You can hire us right from your phone and you never have to leave your house. 2, it's fast. Read the result. Just listen to this.
Lowry and Associates got me $195,000.
Call the twos. We win for you.
If you're hurt in an accident, what do? Call 222-2222.
It's high school basketball season, and ABC 7 and Fox 22 are here to keep you up to date with your local scores and highlights during Friday Night Fast Break. Get out and support your hometown teams and look for our sports crew to get your own free Friday Night Fast Break t-shirt courtesy of
Central Maine Denture, Corinth Auto Parts, Greenway Equipment Sales, Katahdin Trust Company, Maine Collision Center, and Smokey's Barbecue.
Welcome back to Good Morning Maine. I'm Emma Smith. Wildfires in Chile have taken lives, burned lots of acres, and damaged hundreds of homes. One media agency report says at least 10 people have died in the out-of-control wildfires. Chile's national forestry body says more than 17,000 acres have been burned in the central region of Valparaiso alone. High temperatures and strong winds are being blamed. At least 158 fires have been reported throughout the country. Reports say about 1,000 homes have been damaged. Firefighters continue to face huge flames as they continue to try to keep the raging fires away from homes. For the second time in less than a week, an atmospheric river is pummeling California with heavy rain and gusty winds. The storm left hundreds of thousands of customers without power. Fox Weather's Robert Ray has more.
The streets across Southern California quickly filling up with water on Monday as an atmospheric river hovered over the region. The slow-moving storm dropping up to 9 inches of rain in some areas, causing landslides and sending debris through neighborhoods. Multiple communities are evacuating their homes as more rain falls.
Limit non-essential travel. It is safer inside. One of those things is the amount of rainfall, the low visibility, and then also the roadways of flooding. Just limit your chances.
It's the second major storm to hit the state in less than a week. The heavy rain, combined with an already saturated ground, is causing trees and power lines to topple. In Northern California, the storm left behind widespread damage over the weekend, with wind gusts topping 80 miles per hour in some places. Hundreds of thousands of customers were left without electricity.
No lights at all, no street lights, no traffic lights, and just everybody trying to do the best they can pretty much with nothing to help guide them.
Emergency crews are out responding to calls for downed trees and power outages. But they say as the damage piles up, teams may have to prioritize calls.
And it got to the point where we had to figure out what we could go to, what was a priority and what wasn't. If it didn't have power lines involved, a home involved, or completely blocking a roadway, that call could have been deferred.
State officials have mobilized over 8,500 first responders to help with these search and rescue missions while all of this rain continues. In Los Angeles, Robert Ray, Fox Weather.
All right, the time now is 6:22. Now let's get a full look at that local forecast.
All righty, Emma, thank you very much. Your full weather forecast brought to you by Washington County Community College. Discover choices, create success. Don't miss out on free college. All right, let's get into things this morning. A small credit advisory is posted until 1 a.m. Wednesday, so it's been extended now because of active surf that we'll be expecting along the coast with an area of low pressure that is right nearby. And we're still seeing the active ocean out there for around 4 to 8 feet according towards some of the buoys and even up to 10 feet in a few other spots as well. This is why that small credit advisory has been extended through early Wednesday morning. But on land, though, it's just clouds that are developing after this morning, so overall we will be under a mostly cloudy sky throughout the daytime period today. You might notice some peaks of sunshine from time to time as well. Bigger picture showing where the clouds are at there. With high pressure not too far away, though, it will keep our weather rather quiet and will hopefully work on getting some of these clouds out of here as well, especially for the daytime tomorrow. So moving forward, a mostly cloudy sky will be common throughout the daytime period today. We'll have a few more clouds on the way coming up later on tonight. Futurecast might be overdoing the clouds just a bit later on tonight, though, but as we head towards tomorrow, a lot of those clouds get out of here, and then we'll have a lot of sunshine before some more clouds start to develop as we head towards Wednesday night and the parts of the day on Thursday. We'll start to have another system getting closer by that point. But some gusty winds on the way for us today, reaching up to around 20 to maybe 25 miles per hour at times. Notice the winds back off to about 15 miles per hour for gusts later on tonight. Then as we head towards tomorrow, maybe a few gusts up to 15 to maybe 20 miles per hour along the coast, and that looks to be about it there. But otherwise, though, average high temperature is 29 degrees. We'll do middle 30s today and tomorrow, upper 30s Thursday and Friday. We have upper 40s for your Saturday, big warm up there, middle 40s Sunday, then back in the lower 40s as we head towards your Monday. So for today, middle 30s, mostly cloudy and breezy, with that north wind getting up to about 20 miles per hour. Later on tonight, we have middle teens and a partly cloudy sky, and that north wind getting up to about 5 to 10 miles per hour. Moving ahead towards tomorrow, middle 30s, lots of sunshine, with that north breeze getting up to about 5 miles per hour. All righty, here's a look at your extended forecast brought to you by Washington County Community College, showing a mostly sunny sky for the day on Thursday with highs in the upper 30s. Will remain in the upper 30s Friday with a mostly cloudy sky, and rain showers moving for the day on Saturday with highs in the upper 40s.
Your financial goals may appear to be all about savings and investing, but in reality, it's about much more. Your life, your family, and your legacy.
Plan your future with Warren Financial.
It's high school basketball season, and ABC7 and Fox 22 are here to keep you up to date with your local scores and highlights during Friday Night Fast Break. Get out and support your hometown teams and look for our sports crew to get your own free Friday Night Fast Break t-shirt courtesy of
Carpet One, Coastal Auto Parts, Greenway Equipment Sales, Katahdin Trust Company, Ray Plumbing and Heating, and Tony Murray's Fairway Auto Sales.
your favorite restaurants for half off. It's half off dining from Fox 22 and ABC7. Here's this week's featured deal.
The Farmer's Table in Corinna brings you outstanding breakfasts, lunches, and dinners made from farm-grown fresh ingredients. Dinner specials are available every day. Enjoy our homemade desserts, and above all, bring your appetite to the Farmer's Table in Corinna.
On sale Thursday at 9 a.m. A limited supply available half-off dining from Fox 22 and ABC7.
Hanks Husqvarna is your full-line Husqvarna dealer with 2 convenient locations, 32 Old State Road in Carmel and 19 Moosehead Trail in Newport. Whether it's tractors and zero-turns, chainsaws to trimmers, or pressure washers to snowblowers, everything is set up, serviced, and ready to go by our certified Husqvarna technician. And all sales are backed by our in-house Husqvarna warranty. For parts, service, or sales, stop in to Hanks Husqvarna, Carmel or Newport.
Your financial goals may appear to be all about savings and investing, but in reality, it's about much more. Your life, your family, and your legacy.
Plan your future with Warren Financial.
There's one number you need to know. It's called Joe.
Welcome back to Good Morning Maine. Humanitarian aid enters the southern Gaza Strip despite ongoing war and a recent United Nations scandal that hurt relief efforts. Truckloads of supplies came through the southern border of the Gaza Strip on Monday. The provisions are much needed for Gaza, which now has half of its population in Rafah and surrounding areas. The Israel-Hamas war has displaced 85% of Gaza's population, pushing nearly a quarter of them to starvation. Some countries have paused donor funds to the United Nations Relief and Works Agency over allegations some of its workers were complicit in the October 7th attacks led by Hamas against Israel. McDonald's and Starbucks announced the Israel-Hamas war is taking a toll on their sales. McDonald's says a slowdown in sales in the Middle East played a role in its rare fourth quarter sales miss. Starbucks CEO says while sales in the Middle East have struggled, the coffee chain also saw less foot traffic in its U.S. locations due to protests and boycotts related to the conflict. McDonald's also faced backlash in the Middle East after its franchises in Israel offered discounts or free meals to soldiers. The Senate released a $118 billion spending plan, which addresses the southern border, as well as funding for Ukraine and Israel. Fox News congressional correspondent Aisha Hasni starts us off from Capitol Hill.
These are not Republican talking points. This is what we have been told by the experts on the ground. It includes Border Patrol agents, officers, longtime veterans of the agency.
Moments after the House Speaker said that, the Border Patrol Union endorsed the Senate's border deal, saying while not perfect, it is a step in the right direction. On the Hill, though, the bipartisan bill getting bipartisan backlash. In the Senate, 3 on the left are already against it, and no Republicans other than Leader Mitch McConnell and lead negotiator James Lankford publicly support it. Today, NRSC Chair Steve Daines, a member of leadership, announced he's a no.
Is this a big blow?
Well, it's looking at the political aspect of it. Steve Daines has a particular job.
You think that's what's going on now, that people who are opposed to this bill, it's not really about the text or what the contents of the bill, but it's really about the politics?
have some people that have approached me just point blank and said it's presidential election year, don't do anything that helps Biden.
The bill secures $20 billion for the southern border, just 1/3 of the amount going to Ukraine. Negotiators say its policies will end catch and release, expand detention capacity for families, raise asylum standards, fast-track asylum claims, give out work permits to those who qualify, add $650 million for the border wall, and include a mandatory shutdown of the border when encounters hit a rolling average of 5,000 people in a single week. A shutdown that would likely happen on the first day of this law, as encounters are currently averaging around 7,000 a day. But House Republicans aren't buying it.
It's like they were trying to sell us on Gucci, but really it's the package that the guy around the corner in the alley pulled out of his trunk.
Speaker Johnson plans to take up a standalone Israel aid bill this week as Senate Leader Chuck Schumer calls the Speaker's bluff, teeing up a vote on this package at the same time.
You know that it has to be bipartisan. The bill that you passed didn't get a single Democratic vote in the House or the Senate. How are you going to get anything done?
On Capitol Hill, I'm Aisha Hasni, Fox News.
The Biden administration says the U.S. intends to continue launching strikes against Iranian-backed groups in the Middle East. Those groups staged new attacks against American forces earlier yesterday. Fox News Chief National Security Correspondent Jennifer Griffin has the latest from the Pentagon.
There have been at least 2 new attacks by Iranian proxy groups in Syria since Friday night's airstrikes, when a pair of U.S. B-1 bombers took off from Texas, joining other U.S. warplanes in striking 85 targets at 7 locations in Iraq and Syria. The most recent attack involved a single rocket fired this morning toward a U.S. base in Syria. It caused no damage or casualties. Sunday, an Iranian-made drone landed several kilometers from a U.S. base in northeast Syria, killing 6 allied Syrian Kurdish forces. There were no U.S. airstrikes in Iraq and Syria on Saturday and Sunday. Just hours after Friday's airstrikes, the Houthis in Yemen decided to test America's resolve, launching 7 attack drones. All were shot down by the USS Laboon and F-18 Super Hornets launched from the USS Eisenhower.
They have a finite amount of capability, and the question is how much of that capability do they want to sacrifice to a doomed cause.
On Saturday, British warplanes joined the U.S. Navy in taking out 36 Houthi targets, including Iranian anti-ship missiles on the launch pads preparing to be fired. The U.S. continued those preemptive airstrikes on Sunday. National Security Advisor Jake Sullivan was asked whether the president had ruled out striking inside Iran.
I'm not going to get into what's on the table and off the table when it comes to the American response.
Defense Secretary Austin said in a statement this weekend the president has ordered additional actions to hold the IRGC and its affiliated militias responsible. As one U.S. military commander told Fox, this is not some sort of air show. We are not simply pounding sand in the desert. At the Pentagon, Jennifer Griffin, Fox News.
King Charles III has been diagnosed with cancer and has begun treatment. Buckingham Palace announced on Monday that the 75-year-old monarch has cancer, and it is not related to his recent treatment for a benign prostate condition. The palace did not disclose what type of cancer he was diagnosed with. The palace said, quote, His Majesty has today commenced a schedule of regular treatment, and he will postpone public-facing duties in the meantime. The statement notes the king remains positive and looks forward to returning to a full public schedule. Coming up on the second half of the newscast, one second-grade class in Hamden has been collecting Valentine's cards from all around the country. We'll hear from them. Plus, we'll hear from a local author who's using felt as a creative way to create illustrations. These and more as Good Morning Maine continues.
Roto-Rooter has served the greater Bangor area and beyond for 35 years, offering plumbing, hydrojetting, snaking, descaling, video inspection, and grease interceptor cleaning services. For all your residential and commercial clogs, call Roto-Rooter today, 990-1234.
And away go troubles down the drain. Roto-Rooter.
When you drive drunk, you don't know what you might lose. Freedom and reputation, financial stability, your life, and the lives of others.
Please.
Please. Please. Please. Please.
Don't drink and drive.
I got hurt in a car accident. Give me one good reason why I should call the twos.
How about 3 great reasons you should call us? 1, we make it easy. We'll deal with the insurance company so you don't have to. 2, there's no upfront cost. Read the result. Just listen to this.
I called the twos after my accident, and Lowry and Associates got me $300,000.
Call the twos. We win for you.
If you're hurt in an accident, what do you do? Call 222-2222.
As soon as you come out from your carpentry apprenticeship class, you get straight to work with everybody else. You can go into that carpentry apprenticeship class with no skills. They will teach you, they will make sure that you're comfortable before they ever send you out. An apprenticeship is better because, especially me, I'm a very hands-on learner. I wanted to go from having a job that paid my bills to having a passion and a career that really would take me places.
You're watching ABC 7 Bangor.
Welcome back to Good Morning Maine. I'm Emma Smith, and today is Tuesday, February 6th, 2024, and today is National Frozen Yogurt Day. What a good day to treat yourself. However, I wonder if the founder of this day was from a more tropical climate, because I don't wake up on a 15-degree day and think, ooh, time for a nice frozen treat. No. But it's also pay somebody a compliment day or something else if you don't want to have frozen yogurt. I obviously am feeling quite surly about frozen yogurt, which is a weird thing to feel surly about. Okay, let me move on now for some history. On this day in 1935, the board game Monopoly went on sale for the first time. In 1959, in a heated interview, journalist Ed Murrow interviewed Cuban Revolution leader Fidel Castro on Murrow's person-to-person program. In 1968, former President Dwight Eisenhower shot a hole-in-one in a round of golf. And similarly, a few years later, in 1971, American astronaut Alan Shepard was the first to hit a golf ball on the moon. But I suppose par is kind of less of an issue when the rules of gravity are slightly different. In 1980, the serial killer John Wayne Gacy went on trial for the murder of 33 young men in Cook County, Illinois. And in 2005, in Super Bowl 39 in Jacksonville, Florida, the Patriots beat the Eagles 24-21. All right, now for some birthdays. We have 2 posthumous birthdays today with Jamaican reggae singer and guitarist Bob Marley. He was born on this day in 1945 and passed away in 1981 at the age of 36. And the second being the 40th President of the United States, Ronald Reagan. He passed away in 2004 at the age of 93. And finally, American singer and songwriter Axl Rose, known for being the vocalist for Guns N' Roses, is 62 today. We've had 2 days in a row where it's all guys. Happy birthday to them, all major figures in society. Okay, moving on now. It's another cloudy day, but tomorrow the sun's coming out. So, let's make it to the halfway point in the week. It's only Tuesday. Let's check in with meteorologist Evan Biggs for that forecast.
Alrighty, Emma, thank you very much. Happy Tuesday. Your first weather forecast brought to you by Washington County Community College. Discover choices, create success. Don't miss out on free college. Alrighty, let's get into things this morning. A small craft advisory has been extended until Wednesday morning at around 1 a.m. because of active surf along the coast that will continue to remain possible with an area low pressure that continues to move away. But meanwhile, on land, we're looking pretty good out there. Just some clouds that are currently moving through. We'll be under a mostly cloudy sky today, but some peaks of sunshine will be possible from time to time. Let's zoom things out and give you the bigger picture. There's a system right about in there that continues to move away from us, still continuing to make the ocean a little bit active though, but on land, we're looking pretty good. Just some clouds that are developing there. Futurecast moving forward, a mostly cloudy sky common today. We'll have some clouds again later on tonight. This might be overdoing it just a bit, but we'll still have some clouds on the way coming up later on tonight. As for the winds, though, still a little gusty today at around 10 to 20 miles per hour, but the winds will slowly start to back off later on tonight and even calm down a little bit as we we head towards your Wednesday as well. So for today, middle 30s, mostly cloudy and breezy with that north wind getting up to about 20 miles per hour. Later on tonight, here we go, 15 degrees with a partly cloudy sky and that north wind getting up to about 5 to 10 miles per hour. For tomorrow, middle 30s, mostly sunny and that north wind getting up to about 5 miles per hour. All right, that hourly forecast for the rest of the morning and afternoon period showing a mixture of clouds and sunshine with temperatures in the 30s. Your full 5-day forecast is coming up. Emma?
I'm coming around to the frozen yogurt thing. Now I kind of want some. So it just gets in your brain. Maybe it's a sugar thing. I don't know. Okay, mail is pouring into the McGraw School in Hamden, where a group of students are participating in Hearts Across the U.S. As part of the project, Mrs. Bouchard's second grade class is trying to collect Valentine's Day cards or postcards from every state in the nation. Each time they receive a card, the students place a heart over the, I lost my place. Each time the students receive a card, the students place a heart sticker on their classroom map indicating which state that card was mailed from. So far, they've received mail from more than 30 states. On Monday, the students were thrilled to get cards from the states of Alaska and Hawaii.
We're trying to get hearts from every single state, and we have a lot, and we just need a little bit more.
There are just 11 states the class has yet to hear from, including New Mexico, Montana, and Kansas. The students are hoping to get those cards from the remaining states by Valentine's Day. And there's a few days to go. I hope to see the final picture. That is very cool. All right, moving right along. Right after the break, Tyler Cruz will have the latest with sports. Don't go away.
R&K Variety is more than just a convenience store. With delicious homemade food made fresh daily. We offer hearty meals that don't break the bank. Whether it be our delicious chicken pot pie, one of our many savory soups, or a pizza, you can't go wrong at R&K Variety. Looking for a drink after a long workday? R&K Variety is an agency liquor store with an impressive selection. R&K Variety, more than just a convenience store. We're your neighbor, chef, barista, and friend. Stop by today.
Hello, fellow flyers. I'm the Savvy Traveler, here to share the secrets of convenience at Bangor International Airport. Parking, you're steps away from the terminal. Inside, even more conveniences. And friendly, efficient security. All of these make BGR the official airport of you. Remember, the Savvy Travel through Bangor International Airport. FlyBangor.com.
Renovating or building new, you'll find a wide selection of high-performing, energy-efficient, and beautiful windows and doors at Hammond Lumber Company. Your Hammond sales representative will walk you through the showroom displays and help you choose options to create a personalized custom look. Free in-home measurement is available, and Hammond can deliver your order from any of their locations across Maine and New Hampshire. Bring your vision and enjoy better light and added security and energy savings with quality windows and doors from Hammond Lumber Company.
All the nonsense
Fibber.
meets no nonsense.
I don't buy it.
Judge Judy.
Weekdays at 5 on ABC 7.
Welcome back in, everyone. Thank you for staying with us. Let's start with some hockey. Maine hockey going on the road this past weekend. They fell to Northeastern on Friday before bouncing back with a big win over UMass on Saturday. The Black Bears winning 1-0 on the road against number 11 UMass, and with that shutout, freshman goalie Albin Boya was named Hockey East Defender of the Week. Boya becomes the first goaltender to shut out the Minutemen this season and the first one to shut them out at home since 2021. The Black Bears are now ranked 7 in the nation, so moving down just one spot, and that sets up a top 10 matchup at the Alphon this weekend as 10th-ranked Providence comes up for 2 games Friday and Saturday. Staying with some positive news out of Maine athletics, Adriana Smith bringing in some hardware as well, being named the America East Player of the Week. Maine went 2-0 last week with wins over UMass Lowell and Bryant. Smith scored 25 points and 8 rebounds, 5 assists in their win over the Riverhawks, and then flirted with a triple-double on the road Saturday over Bryant with 16 points, 13 boards, and 8 assists. It's her 3rd time taking home the honor this season, 7th in her career, and Maine has the rest of the week off before taking on New Hampshire on Saturday at the Pit, tip-off scheduled for 2 p.m. All All right, let's stay with some basketball now. This past Friday, UMaine Farmington grabbed a big win over Husson in Newman Gymnasium, and making his return to the greater Bangor area for the first time as a Beaver was former Brewers standout Brock Flagg. Brock won the state title with the Witches in 2023, assisting on that game-winning bucket right there. He didn't know if he was going to play college ball or not, but ultimately decided on UMF. Brock says his biggest adjustment to playing college ball was being around a new group of teammates and coaches for the first time in a while, but says they are all gelling pretty nicely.
My whole life, I've been playing with those kids, and not just basketball, like football, AAU, basketball. I've been playing with those kids I went to high school with for 12 years, so to kind of come in and have kids from Connecticut and Colorado, it's definitely new, but I love my team. They're awesome.
On the court, he says it took him a bit to get used to the speed and the physicality of the next level, something a lot of freshmen go through, but it seems like he's overcome those woes. He says he can't wait for the next 3 years in Farmington. He started 5 games for the Beavers so far, including their win over Husson on Friday, and that win thanks in part to a big defensive play from him in the last minute, all in a game he had circled on his calendar for a while.
I was so pumped for this one. I had my aunt, my uncle, my cousin, it was just, couldn't make it up. It was awesome. I was waiting all year to come to this one. I played Maine high school basketball, and then now I played Division III basketball in Maine. I'm not exactly, in the NBA, but to just see all the kids that are on the Brewer middle school team, high-five me at halftime. it's just awesome to know maybe I meant something to Brewer while I was there for 4 years.
All right, always good to catch up with Brock. Let's keep it moving now. Time for some hoops. Last week before the tournament, Class C boys matchup here over in East Corinth. Central Red Devils, they are hosting the Lee Academy Pandas. Second quarter is where we'll start. Devils down. Jackson Pollock over to Aiden Gregory, who finishes at the rim for 2. Nice move there. On the other end now, look at this move from Finn Knowles. The crossover, takes the bump, and finishes off the glass. That's a nice shot and 1. Right before the half, here's Pollock. Again, he finds Gregory, and again, he rises up above the D and banks that one home. Third quarter now. Lee with it. Knowles drives. He finds Andrew Glidden for the straightaway 3, and that one is money. And then here come the Pandas again. Knowles feels the double, gets it to an open Glidden in the corner for another. Lee wins 67-50. All right, for some other scores from around the area, Bangor Christian boys with a win over Jonesport Beals. Herman girls with a win over Central. Dexter outlasts Orono 26-16 in a defensive matchup. And then Bangor Christian girls with a close 34-32 win over Jonesport Beals. All right, let's move on now. It is nearly baseball season. I know it may not feel like it, but Maine baseball starts their 2024 campaign next Friday. Maine softball is in action this weekend down in Boston. It's almost like a regional holiday. Monday was Truck Day. The Sox packed up that truck with all their equipment this morning and shipped it down to Jet Blue Park in Florida, a.k.a. Fenway South. Can't forget the gum and the sunflower seeds. Pitchers and catchers report next week. The full squad reports on the 19th, and then the first spring training game is on February 23rd against Boston University with the Orioles on the 24th. All right, right around the corner. That means spring's right around the corner, too. Till the time we have for sports, we'll be right back after the break.
Great Scott! This is Green Bear 420 in 2010. What kind of trip is this? I gotta get back to 2023. Wait, it's 2015. So much has changed. In 2023, we had a lot more glass, t-shirts, and novelties. It's gonna take a bolt of lightning to get me home. Finally, home at last. Now Green Bear 420, Green Bear Green Care is bigger and better than ever. To be continued.
It's high school basketball season, and ABC7 and Fox 22 are here to keep you up to date with your local scores and highlights during Friday Night Fast Break. Get out and support your hometown teams and look for our sports crew to get your own free Friday Night Fast Break t-shirt courtesy of
Coastal Auto Parts, Hamlin's Marine, Leo and Sons Auto Repair, Maine Collision Center, Old Town Archery, and Sargent.
Hi, I'm Angelina Mucci.
And I'm Andy Mucci of Family Fun Bowling Center.
When we want to know the weather, we go to foxbangor.com.
Celebrating our 50th anniversary year, Family Fun Bowling Center has 20 lanes of 10-pin bowling at its best.
Scudic and Bloom, a full-service, custom-designed florist, Main Street in Winter Harbor.
We can deliver one-of-a-kind, full-color flower arrangements
By custom floral designer me, Pam.
delivering to Ellsworth and surrounding areas for any occasion.
Please visit scudicandbloom.com or call 844
A woman from Hamden is using her love of felting to make one-of-a-kind children's books. Hillary Dow is a self-published author and illustrator
go like
who
this and
uses
it pokes
sheep's
right
wool
through.
to make all her book characters and illustrations. Our Jody Hersey has more.
She started using...
You can go like this and it pokes right through.
Hillary Dow loves felting. She started using a felting kit a few years ago, and her creativity grew from there.
So felting is a process of using a barbed needle to go back and forth through fibers. I generally use sheep's wool, and when that barbed needle goes through the fibers, it just kind of makes those fibers lock together. So the more you felt, so the more you poke it with your needle, the denser and firmer and smaller the wool becomes.
Dow says you can have fluffy, airy pieces or dense, tightly felted pieces. She likes to incorporate both when she makes mermaids, fairies, and other creatures. Once complete, she photographs her characters for her illustrations.
The characters in my books have often been inspired by either our two children, Eva and Tyler, or nieces and nephews. My parents are in the first book as Bopshi and Jarji.
Dow has written, illustrated, and self-published 3 books already.
Everything that I saw, there was nothing like the artwork I was making.
Her 4th book, called Flock of Rock, is about a group of sheep that form a rock band. It is scheduled to be published in the spring. All of Dow's books can be found and purchased at bindingtales.com or at the Maine Micro Artisan Shop in the Bangor Mall.
It's cool to be doing something that's really different.
In Hamden, I'm Jody Hersey for ABC 7 and Fox 22 News.
Wow, even better than illustrations. It makes it even more interesting. Love to see it. Okay, now let's check in with meteorologist Evan Biggs for one final look at our full forecast.
Alrighty, Emma, thank you very much. Your full weather forecast brought to you by Washington County Community College. Discover choices, create success. Don't miss out on free college. Alrighty, let's get into things this morning. A small credit advisory is posted until 1 a.m. Wednesday, so it's been extended now because of active surf that will be expected along the coast with an area of low pressure that is right nearby. And we're still seeing the active ocean out there for around 4 to 8 feet according towards some of the buoys and even up to 10 feet in a few other spots as well. This is why that small credit advisory has been extended through early Wednesday morning. But on land, though, it's just clouds that are developing after this morning. So overall, we will be under a mostly cloudy sky throughout the daytime period today. You might notice some peaks of sunshine from time to time as well. Bigger picture showing where the clouds are at there. With high pressure not too far away, though, it will keep our weather rather quiet, and we'll hopefully work on getting some of these clouds out of here as well, especially for the daytime tomorrow. So moving forward, a mostly cloudy sky will be common throughout the daytime period today. We'll have a few more clouds on the way coming up later on tonight. Futurecast might be overdoing the clouds just a bit later on tonight, though, but as we head towards tomorrow, a lot of those clouds get out of here, and then we'll have a lot of sunshine before some more clouds start to develop as we head towards Wednesday night and the parts of the day on Thursday. We'll start to have another system getting closer by that point. But some gusty winds on the way for us today, reaching up to around 20 to maybe 25 miles per hour at times. Notice the winds back off to about 15 miles per hour for gusts later on tonight. Then as we head towards tomorrow, maybe a few gusts up to 15 to maybe 20 miles per hour along the coast, and that looks to be about it there. But otherwise, though, average high temperature is 29 degrees. We'll do middle 30s today and tomorrow, upper 30s Thursday and Friday. We have upper 40s for your Saturday, a big warm up there, middle 40s Sunday, and then back in the lower 40s as we head towards your Monday. So for today, middle 30s, mostly cloudy and breezy, with that north wind getting up to about 20 miles per hour. Later on tonight, we have middle teens and a partly cloudy sky, and that north wind getting up to about 5 to 10 miles per hour. Moving ahead towards tomorrow, middle 30s, lots of sunshine, with that north breeze getting up to about 5 miles per hour. Alrighty, here's a look at your extended forecast brought to you by Washington County Community College, showing a mostly sunny sky for the day on Thursday with highs in the upper 30s. We'll remain in the upper 30s Friday with a mostly cloudy sky, and rain showers moving for the day on Saturday with highs in the upper 40s.
There's some things that work better
together. Like your workplace benefits and retirement savings. Voya helps you choose the right amounts without over or under investing, so you can feel confident in your financial choices.
Voya, well planned, well invested, well protected.
Your local professional, eco-friendly office space partner is WVII Business Solutions, your one-stop shop to get the job done. Handling all your office furniture and printing machine needs at an affordable price. Offering full system integration into your workplace and local service on everything we sell. We can even remote monitor your system with just-in-time inventory and service need assessments. Little to no downtime gives you peace of mind. At WVII Business Solutions, your solution is only an email or a phone call away.
I've been on both sides of the apprenticeship process as an apprentice and as the training director. As an apprentice, I know that it was a great opportunity and a great experience to go through the program. And on the sponsor side of things, I know that it's a great opportunity for us to be able to grow our workforce as well as have control on the training portion to make sure that we are training the future that we need in the field. We could use a lot more licensed electricians in the state of Maine for all the projects that are happening.
Your favorite restaurants for half off. It's half off dining from Fox 22 and ABC 7. Here's this week's featured deal.
The Farmer's Table in Corinna brings you outstanding breakfasts, lunches, and dinners made from farm-grown fresh ingredients. Dinner specials are available every day. Enjoy our homemade desserts, and above all, bring your appetite to the Farmer's Table in Corinna.
On sale Thursday at 9 a.m. A limited supply available half off dining from Fox 22 and ABC 7.
Oh my God. I'm scared, Daddy.
Are you family?
I've never seen these people before in my life.
The Connors season premiere, Wednesday on ABC.
A shark fishing expert single-handedly reeled in a 1,200-pound, 12-foot great white shark. Blaine Kenny and his partner went on a fishing tour group in Pensacola. The team set sail in Navarre Beach, about 25 miles east of Pensacola, to catch the biggest sharks possible. They used big baits like a 150-pound swordfish head and the head of an 80-pound yellowfin tuna. Once they caught their monster shark, it took an hour to reel it in, since the shark would pull back out into the water. Kenny eventually pulled the massive animal onto shore. It was later released back into the water. That is a nightmare. He's just, oh my gosh. Once Kenny removed the hook used to reel it in, that's when he released it. Wow. That's scary. Floridians are a different breed. Good for him, though. That looks fun. They completed their goal. Okay, that wraps it up for this hour. We will continue broadcasting on Fox 22. Good Morning America is next on ABC 7. You could stay with us for the second hour of Good Morning Maine. And if you missed anything, head to foxbangor.com. We hope you have a great day.